Hi there, my name is Toby and I am the founder of the ENTIFY project, and in this video I want to try and explain to you a bit more about how ENTIFY is really helping you to create your own identity. You are giving birth to your real identity. It's actually extremely important. Now, the identity that we have, our birth certificate, is actually not very good. It's not a true identity. It's actually corporate. Now, there's a lot of research being done into this, and people that know in the freedom movement, the sovereign movement, and I mean the people that really know, there's a lot of people that don't understand what they're doing. They understand that the most important thing we have to do is create a proper identity for ourselves. Because if we have that, it actually is more powerful and it sets us free from the external system of control, the external identity that has been given to us. And if you think about it, the birth certificate was given to us. We were a baby, we had no control. But now we're grown up, we can assert ourselves in law. And it gives us a lot of power back if we can do this. It asserts our rights. Now, our rights, we have them, nothing can take away our rights. There's nothing written about them. But if we create this identity, it gives us power in law to assert ourselves and protect ourselves. So it's very important. But ENTIFY, this system, actually is going to help us to create this very easily. Everyone. It's going to give us back a lot of power. So how's it going to work? Well, it's going to work. We have to create a lawful and a legal document asserting that we are alive, living, a real living man or woman, and various other things that I'll go through in a minute. But ENTIFY is a system that has never been seen before. It's such an incredible system of authentication, verification. Now the state, the corporations, they all want that. They want our digital IDs, yes. But as I said, those digital IDs are pretty much useless. They're meaningless. They're based on these arbitrary documents like the birth certificate, like the driver's license. They're based on some database that the state has got. That is relatively meaningless. It's not actually an identity in law. So they should like us because we're creating a more powerful identity than they are. They should like us. So ENTIFY is not really, rebelling against the system. No, we're not rebelling. We are improving the system. So they cannot complain. You want an identity? Well, we're creating one. Now, the only thing is, ours is completely self-sovereign and decentralised. So now they won't like that because they cannot control it. But they cannot complain because our identity will be better, written in law. How can they complain? And the decentralisation and the self-sovereign nature of it is provable by the blockchain, by the computer algorithm. It's undeniable. So they cannot complain. In the long-term goal, this is so powerful because ENTIFY will have to be accepted worldwide as a digital identity. It will have to be accepted. And when that happens, we will no longer need to be on the centralized database. We're free. It's a long way. I know this is a crazy big idea, but the technology, we have got it. And now we've got the ability to tie in this legal, lawful document into the technology. So let me explain it to you now in a bit more detail. So this is another white paper that was going up on the website, and I'm going to take you through it step by step So this is the ENTIFY Identity Creation White Paper, the AFFIDAVIT system. So you have to understand what the affidavit is, and I'll read through what it is as well. So the purpose of the affidavit system, ENTIFY introduces a radically human-centric approach to digital identity creation. Instead of relying on passwords, corporations or state institutions, ENTIFY defines identity through a self-signed, self-owned affidavit, backed by a combination of, so this is important, backed by a combination of practiced magic symbols. Now these are the private kinetic biometrics. An autograph, again, public symbolic biometric. Voice print, vocal biometric, facial pattern, visual biometric, fingerprint, physical biometric, NFT hardware private keys. Again, all of this is stored offline on your NFT card, your ENTI card. It's completely separate. And user declared copyright over all biometrics. So the affidavit is the moment of identity birth. You're giving birth to yourself. It's that serious. And even your name. This is also the point where you can rename yourself. But you must think about that, because that will become your real identity. So the affidavit is the moment of identity birth. It establishes 1. Intent, 2. Volition, 3. Honesty commitment, 4. Copyright over all biometric expressions, and 5. The user's own authority over their identity. You are claiming absolute sovereignty over yourself. That's why this is the Sovereign Authentication Network. Remember the authority. It is not granted to ENTIFY. It is not granted to an institution. It is granted by the user to the user, creating true self-sovereignty. So now this is the affidavit, and this is going to be written in something called controlled natural language. So this is a language that is got a limited meaning of the words. It's designed also to be interpreted by a computer. So there's 2 versions of this. And again, this is just a beginning version. So this version is designed to be clear, precise, unambiguous, and suitable for everyday users while still being formally meaningful. Again, this is recognized in law. It's not legalese, so there's no manipulation of language, but it can be used in place of legalese. So again, this is very clear. It is written in a particular language, and that statement is made. Controlled natural language. So the affidavit will go something like this. 1. I declare that I am a living man or woman, stroke woman. 2. I declare that I am the source and owner of my consciousness, my decisions, and my actions. 3. I declare that all biometric expressions generated by me, including my face, voice, fingerprint, autograph, and magic symbols, are my personal property. 4. I declare exclusive copyright ownership over all my biometric data. No person or organization has permission to use or copy my biometric data without my voluntary consent. 5. I declare my intent to act with honesty, integrity, and non-harm within the ENTIFY network. 6. I declare that I take full responsibility for the use of my ENTICard, ENTIPhone, autograph, and magic symbols. 7. I declare that I understand that authentication requires my conscious action and deliberate intent. 8. I declare that any witness who verifies this affidavit is verifying only that I performed this declaration and presented myself as a living man stroke woman. And 9, I declare that this affidavit becomes part of my immutable ENTIFY identity record and is secured by my private keys. And then it's signed with your autograph, confirmed by your magic symbols. Voice print is recorded. You have to read this. There's video of this. Face print is recorded, again through the video, and fingerprint is recorded. So the whole thing is tied together. Now, next thing, the next language, this is the real language it's going to be in, it's called machine parsable, a computer code version. So this is not quite programming code, it is machine consumable declarative identity data, formatted in a deterministic structure. It can be stored on chain, hashed or encoded into NFT metadata. So this is the this is the language that will make this perfect. How the affidavit connects to the biometrics, the autograph and the secret symbols. So the magic symbols, these are the private keys of the human body, or the man or the woman. The 3 secret magic symbols are practiced kinetic patterns, motor memory based, extremely difficult to imitate, used as primary device unlock, treated as the human equivalent of a private cryptographic key. They represent inner intention, known only to the user. This is where we change the game. Consciousness is now moving into cryptography. That's the magic symbol. This is how we connect it all together. So now the autograph, this is your public identity key. The autograph is visible, socially recognizable, repeatable, deliberately practiced, confirmed by kinetic biometric patterns. It functions as a public identity signature analogous to a public key. Then of course you have vocal and visual biometrics, the spoken affidavit recording and facial scan. These verify proof of life, produce additional biometric signatures, you'll need them as backup also, strengthen identity uniqueness, reinforce that the user is consciously performing an act of intent. And then we have copyright over all biometrics. The affidavit legally and technically establishes the user owns their biometric, and use requires explicit consent. ENTIFY cannot access, store or process them without the user. This is a total reversal on how biometrics are normally handled. So next, binding all elements together. The ENTIFY system links the affidavit to the biometrics using cryptographic hashing, NFT private keys, entangled identity metadata, multi-factor human-centric authentication. Now listen, together the system forms the strongest self-sovereign identity framework ever conceived, built on intention, practice, conscious act, biometric copyright, immutable affidavit, hardware level security. There's nothing else like this. And now finally the summary. So ENTIFY identity is created through a spoken and written affidavit, practiced magic symbols, autograph creation, face, voice and fingerprint biometrics, witness verification and NFT-based cryptographic sealing. Now once more, listen carefully. The result is a human-first sovereign identity system that blends ancient symbolic authentication, that is signatures, intention and witnesses, with modern cryptography and decentralized technology. ENTIFY is changing the game. We really are bringing the power back to us, the living man and woman. So please do check out the website, read through this in more detail. There's many more white papers coming up. I have to put a lot, but in time I might be able to pare them down into less. But again, don't worry, it's such a big concept. I just want you to get the overall idea and see where this can go. It's serious. It's a complete, fully functioning mathematical authentication architecture. And we can do everything with this. And we will all be perfectly independent, autonomous, self-sovereign, living men and women. And also, if you haven't already, please leave your email on the website to be on the mailing list, to be the first to get the app. The first thing we're releasing is the Decentralized Chat Network, a free app. We can all download it and we will have the most private, decentralized chat so far. So get on the mailing list, be the first. So thank you so much again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.